Hello everyone, you are listening to VIT Community Radio to think and act, and I'm your RJ Raghav Sanoria. This week is quite special as VIT celebrates Innovation Week 2025. And today we are honored to have with us Mr. Vivek Tiwari, the CEO of Audix Technologies. Mr. Tiwari, it's an honor to have you with us today.
My pleasure.
So, to start off, could you tell us about the field of your expertise and what inspired you to pursue that field?
So basically, I come from a cybersecurity background. Okay,
So,
and cybersecurity. Talking about the inspiration, I would say field cybersecurity as a field. Or taking it as an inspiration was never a choice. It just went when it became a choice once when I started into my career after my graduation. Okay, and the inspiration was more to have to be an entrepreneur, to innovate something, and the field automatically came in. And then we identifies the right opportunity, the right area where we want to innovate, and that's how it started. Okay, so spending few years with corporates, understanding the problem areas, and then realizing that there's a lot of gaps that can be fulfilled, and so that was the thought process to move out and start something of our own, and yeah, that's how it is.
how was your experience with the corporates?
So corporates is a good learning battlefield, I'll say. Okay, because you have, but yes, one thing is there. You have to keep your eyes open, you have to keep your ears open, you have to keep your brain open. Okay, to learn. Let the inflow of the things come into you. You can't restrict yourself to what just you think. You have to be very open in terms of everything you hear, everything you see, and how you can innovate or to solve the problems that you feel in that you experience during your corporate life. Okay, and I think having some years of experience in corporate, so I spent around 8 years in corporate sector, especially the banking area,
Right.
and I think that gave me a lot of problem statements which I can work on as an entrepreneur. That's where and I think I'll say like it was a field which gave me a vision, or which gave me an opportunity, okay, to find out something meaningful and move ahead and start something of my own. So
So, could you tell us some insights about the technological advancements in your field?
technical advancement, if I talk about, it's very huge in cybersecurity, because what happens is cybersecurity as a field is not restricted to a particular domain. Okay, so if you talk about technology, you need a security there, right? Because the kind of technical advancement happening with AI coming in, with machine learning coming in, obviously there is always something. There is always a dark side of it. Okay, so that dark side you need to handle. Okay, and that's where the cybersecurity comes in the technical side. And if I'm talking, so with IoT coming in, with
Yeah.
kind of machine learning, AI, other things coming in, and you want to secure those technologies so it is not misused, you need to have a technical advancement on the other side, the securing side of it, right? So securing the AI solutions, the securing the machine learning part, ensuring. So when I talk about machine learning, so machine learning is what we train the data. Okay, now if say assuming the data that we feed into training that machine learning algorithms, okay, if that is corrupt, the entire algorithm will change.
Yeah.
Like the way the output that you're expecting is something which will be very weird, right?
Right.
So security plays a very critical role. Cybersecurity advancement has to happen at a similar pace, and what pace this advancement is happening on the technical side. Similarly, if I talk about not just the technical part, if I talk about even the people, okay. So with the advancement on technology side, with AI and other things taking into picture, it has also started the impacting the human life as well. Especially if I talk about the general public, okay, not the people who are not educated, who fall victim to many of the cyber frauds that's
Yeah.
happening. Okay, so and recently it has like things has gone
Escalate.
way beyond what we can imagine. Okay, where somebody can actually create a AI version of
Yeah.
myself, and it can be used to trick people and do a lot of frauds. Okay, so even on that side, again, cybersecurity plays a very critical role to ensure that we are able to protect the people from such frauds, because it's a hard-earned money of people, right? And one single fraud can eliminate the entire money and make people go bankrupt, right? So cybersecurity as a domain has a very critical role to play in the normal human being life as well. And going down the line, you will always, and in order to handle such situation, obviously the cybersecurity domain, the people who are involved in that side have to continuously evolve and continuously innovate to
Yeah.
tackle such challenges.
So, sir, as we know, people have a lot of ideas with them. They have innovative ideas, but they don't have the guts. They can't face how society would think about them if they come up with their ideas. So, myself coming from a CSE background, how would you some wise words from you to motivate us?
So basically, this is a very typical point question that you pointed me out. Okay, and I can very well relate to this to myself in my own life. Okay, so I belong from a family which where my father was a maths professor, my grandfather was an English professor. Okay, but they were all having the government jobs. Okay, very stable life, very clean life. Okay, and a similar concept, even the vision that they gave me was to have a secured life, right? So I faced a challenge. So when I started my career in 2011, I wanted to move out. So in 2012 or 13, I was like, I talked to my parents once. Okay, I'm looking to move out, and it was restricted
Yeah.
because they were like, there are multiple things like parents
Typical
think,
brown, like
yeah,
Indian
exactly.
families we have.
So they restricted and they opposed, and then again I had to get back to my job as usual.
Yeah.
And it took me 6 years. Okay, from 2011, first discussion that I had with my family was in 2013, where I expressed that I want to move out and start something. I need your support,
Right.
which was bluntly, they said you have got a good job, you have got a good life. After some years, because they think on a different side of it, because they have faced some challenges in their own life,
Yeah.
and they don't want you to face that. Okay, so they have their own thought process. Okay,
Right.
so what I did was like, I after 2013 I never spoke to them about, but the thing was in from inside it was the restlessness that was taking up, and ultimately in 2017, I suppose 19 precisely, 2018 end and 19 starting, I decided to quit. Okay, but again the challenge was uh, talking to parents, because we're living in a joint family. You have a lot of you have to talk to them. I said no, I'll not talk this time. I'll start.
So, like, sir,
I'll
some wise words for such children to like how they can come out
Yeah,
of this.
basically it's more about having a and the problem how to address that was something which I started working in the background itself. Okay, and then I moved out. Okay, but first, if I talk about students, so you are actually at the right. This is the right time for
Age
you.
and
Okay,
time.
but the only thing is you have to look around you, understand the problem areas, look at the people around you, let everything go aside. It
Yeah.
can be, look at the people around you, understand the problem that they're facing. So if I talk from security field, looking at my domain, I'll see like every day you see some or the other news, right? This is the fraud that happened with someone, this is the kind of fraud that happened with someone. So can I actually come out with something innovative which can help address this problem, right? And this, at this stage as a student, you have luckily that you have got good access to the ecosystems of startups. You have got colleges who are having the entire labs at your disposal. Okay, and you can start working without any fear of failure actually.
Right.
Because when I moved out after 7 8 years, I always had a fear of failure in the background, right? Because what happens if I fail? Because now almost 8 years with having some responsibilities on myself, okay, and not informing my parents, eliminate the complete fear what parents will say, because anyways you're still in a area where you're just studying, you've got a lot of things to explore. So try to understand the problems, try to find out an innovative solution and start implementing it, because money will never be a challenge. I'll tell you, capital, people think like capital, I need capital to start something. You don't need, actually.
Okay.
It's something which is in your thought. Okay, and I am like firm believer of giving yourself whatever you think you become, it's very important.
To respect ourselves.
Whatever you think you become. So I'm not sure, like being a science student, you might have heard the concept of frequency, right? So when we think, there is some or the other frequency. When we talk, there is some or the other frequency which is created. Like there are frequencies around us.
Right.
Okay, so if you remember, like in our school days, we always used to have an example where like the army, when they walk, when they do a parade, they create a certain frequency, right? And as the same army, when they go on a bridge, they're asked to do a normal walk. because that frequency, if it matches with the frequency of the bridge,
Right.
when the bridge has the material has its own frequency, if they match, the bridge will collapse, right? So you can assume the power of frequency. So I'm a very firm believer of a strong, like, you should believe in what you think. Okay. Second thing is you should always like keep on thinking, yes, I'll be able to do that, and one fine you will find that it automatically has come to you, right? So I think that's very strong. That is something which I've felt in my life. Okay. Because even after when we started 3 years, there was a huge failures that we had like setback on the financial side. The investor who had promised to fund in us moved out. With COVID coming in, people started working from home. There was no projects available in the market because everybody was not aware in 2020 like what will happen in the next 2 years, because everything was shutting down. And at that time when we started, it was like the first big failure or big fall that we had. But again, as I said, the mentally we were sounding, we'll have to do this. We can't leave it in aside and just again go back to corporate life. And that was a strong thought process. That was the strong frequency that you have within yourself, and that's what you believe. That's how it works.
Thank you, sir. That was truly inspiring talking to you.